right. Bobby, you good?
I'm good. I'm good.
All right. Man, I thought that was good practice. Um, Competitive, some situational work. I think getting back here in the AC a little bit uh, got him a little juice back. So start cutting back a little bit and getting ready for the game.
Obviously, Tyron made the plays today, but how do you feel like the process of the safeties coming together, forming chemistry, and that has gone on throughout camp?
Yeah, I think it's still a work in progress, but I think it's been improving. Um, Man, Tyron made a couple of really nice plays today. Um, and so that was good to see. I think he's kind of beginning to get a little more comfortable in what we're doing and what we're asking him to do. Um, I've seen improvement out of Marcus May throughout camp, so I feel good about where that position is. I think we've got a lot of depth in that position.
Dennis, you think you have any opportunities to see Rashid Shaheed in the return game come Friday?
Um, I don't know that. I think we just kind of wait and see. We'll probably uh, have those discussions Wednesday evening, um, before we start getting ready for the Chargers.
It seems like approaches to preseason games have evolved over the years. Is it acceptable now for a starter to go into the season opener at any position without having played a down in preseason?
Um, yeah, look, I mean, it happens. Um, you know, we'll see how we play it out. On Friday night. Um, we've gotten a lot of good work in training camp, so I'm pretty um, pleased with where we're at to this point. Um, but yeah, look, we'll see. I mean, you know, everybody's got different philosophies on preseason, um, but look, I think getting in a game environment is good for everybody, but that doesn't necessarily mean that that's what we'll do.
I saw Jameis tuck it up and run a couple of times today. Is that a sign where he feels he is mentally going in, where he's comfortable
Yeah,
enough?
look, I mean, you'd have to ask him, exactly where he's at, but I feel, um, I thought today he looked really good. Um, so in terms of, is it a sign where he feels he's at? I don't know that. I do know that it was encouraging to me to see that.
Dennis, was today Marcus Davenport's first full team work, or did I just
Yeah, I
miss
think
that?
today was the first day he actually, you know, did team drills.
Has he been kind of progressing where you want him to be?
Um, yeah, I mean, look, where I want him to be. I mean, certainly I'd love you know, for him to be taking all the reps. Um, but yeah, he's making progress, and so I feel like it's a step in the right direction. Um, we still got a little ways before we open up the season, so there's still some time to kind of get him ready. But that was good to um, get him into a couple of team drills today.
You've kind of talked about Caden Ellis a couple times throughout camp. It's just you guys made some strides. See somebody who can kind of help you both as a rusher, as that kind of traditional linebacker role.
Yeah, yes. The answer is yes. He's got some pass rush value, um, and so we utilized him a couple of times last year in a couple of pass rush situations. That's something that I think he does pretty well. I think he's got really strong hands on the edge to set the edge as a Sam linebacker. So um, yeah, I think he's improved, and I think there's going to be a role for him to help us in a few different areas.
Has some of that improvement also been more of the off the ball stuff, coverage as well?
Yeah, yeah. Look, I think he kind of established himself last year as fully capable of being the on the ball Sam linebacker for us, and I think he's making some progress in terms of solidifying himself as a viable option for us as an off the ball backer.
Dennis, how has Jarvis Landry kind of grasped this offense since getting him to now first finishing off that 2 minute
Yeah,
drive?
look, I think he's getting more comfortable. He's actually played a lot of different positions, and so I think he would probably even tell you that he's still got a little meat left on the bone in terms of really totally understanding the offense. But I've seen a lot of improvement, and um, in the last couple days I've seen him make some pretty good catches for touchdowns. So that's been encouraging to see.
With Taysom being back today after missing the last couple of days, what did you see out of him today? And how have you kind of seen him adjust to the last couple of
I think he's done a nice job. The unfortunate thing for him is that he's missed a lot of time with injury throughout this training camp, and so I don't know if he's exactly where we want him to be right now, but yet he's still going to keep progressing. He's functioning in roles that he's been used to doing. He's just spent more time in the tight end room, kind of understanding a few of the intricacies of playing that position. So, I think he was just basically, walk through an individual today. So, hopefully we'll be able to continue to progress him.
Are some of the injuries on the offensive line just the sheer number? Like, is that a concern? Does it affect anything you guys do at practice, just in terms of how many offenses you can line up? Or?
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, certainly. You got to pay attention to the numbers that you have available at each position, and it happens, periodically through training camp. At one point we were a little short on DBs, and so we had to go out and sign a few DBs. We've got a few nicks and bruises and stuff like that on the offensive line that we're kind of working through. So yeah, it affects you in terms of how many, how you do your rep count. But we're kind of at that point in training camp where, there's a little bit more ones and twos getting work in these practices.
What are the attributes that you like about Pete Carmichael as a coach?
Well, number one, he's highly intelligent, and so he has a big picture view of the game, and specifically the offense. So I think he's a good teacher and communicates well with the players, and I think those are important things. I like his calm demeanor, because he doesn't get rattled by a lot of things, and so it's a good quality to have.
Coach, now that we're through a couple of weeks of practices here, what would you highlight so far about Cody Burns and his contribution to the wide receiver?
Yeah, look, I think he's a I don't want to say young coach, but he's a young coach in terms of our league. He's a rookie in our league. I think he's a really good teacher. I think he does a really good job with techniques and fundamentals. And look, you see his players come out here and make plays. I mean, I've already seen, we just talked about Jarvis, and then, I've seen Chris Olave take some strides forward. So, yeah, I think he's helping a lot of those guys.
You mentioned Olave. Go ahead.
Can you touch on Marquez Smiley and just what you've seen from him throughout the side?
Yeah, just a consistent player. He's kind of the player that we've seen over the last couple of years. He's real consistent. He's smart. He can line up in a bunch of different spots. He's got some return value for us, and has special teams value. So I like where he's at.
With Olave, I don't know if you remember, he found a soft spot between Matthew and Adebo in the right flat and caught a pass along the sideline from Winston.
In the 2-minute drill.
Yeah.
Yep.
Does a play like that, is it indicative of how close a rookie, high draft pick could be to hitting right away? Or is that just one good play and you don't want to read too much into it?
Well, if it was just one play, I'd say, well, that was just one play, and I don't want to read too much into it. But, I certainly think that he's going to be a contributor to our football team. And I've seen some of those plays specifically over the last, call it week to 10 days. And so I thought, You know, I said this before. I thought he took a step forward in Green Bay. There's a nice play he made today, so I think he's getting more comfortable in what we're doing. But you know, let's don't put him in the Hall of Fame yet. Let's make sure he realizes he's still a rookie and got a long way to go.
There's some technical route running that goes into executing a play like that, right? That's a good sign. Or
Yeah, and look. I mean, that was one of the things that we felt like, we liked about him coming out was just his ability to run a route and transition at the top. So, so it's good to see.
We saw Andy come off the field in that last drill. Is there anything going on there?
He got stepped on, but I think he's going to be fine. All good?